Hello, everybody, and welcome to Functional Medicine with me, Dr. Howard Robbins. I'm not going to talk too much right now at the beginning because there's so much on this part two of how to overcome and even eliminate allergies. Okay. And as we talked about in part one, which you absolutely have to listen to, uh, I think this is going to be at least a three-part, maybe more podcast. I try to keep the podcast to about 20-minute segments so that everybody doesn't get bored and just lose focus and attention. So I'm not going to rehash part one. Go listen to it. It's pretty important that you do. Um, but what we're going to talk about to start with today is there are many different things that can cause allergies, an allergic reaction. Okay. Um, you may be allergic to foods, and we'll talk about foods in a bit, but very commonly people are allergic to various chemicals. For example, in soap. Um, and there's answers for these things. You can go to various organic vegetable soaps that, for example, without artificial colors and scents and preservatives, um, that could cause reactions. It's not necessarily the soap you're reacting to. And the same thing goes for shampoos and conditioners. Um, Women and men often need to condition their hair. And according to Dr. Philip Kingsley, I think we did a podcast years ago, Dr. Kingsley, well, actually, Philip isn't a doctor, but he's a trichologist. And he claimed that the best way to condition your hair is to make homemade mayonnaise from egg. You can use an organic egg and organic extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, and you emulsify it by blending it, and that makes it, into like a mayonnaise, which you can apply to your hair and scalp. You let it sit for about 20 minutes or so, and then you rinse it out. In fact, you can let it sit for just a few minutes even. So for many people, that's all that you need. So you have to be concerned that a lot of these different products can be an issue. For example, underarm deodorant. Many people use it, and can be loaded with many chemicals, particularly aluminum, which is very bad. And there you can go to Promolife at promolife.com, and you can buy a organic ozonated underarm deodorant, which is just absolutely amazing. It flies out of my office. I don't sell it online. You have to go to promolife.com. And even better, just call them up and tell them you heard about it here on the show. They may even give you a discount. Um, Absolutely wonderful product to use. The same thing goes, for example, dry skin creams. They sell various organic ozonated oils that you could use for dry skin. Very mild one, if you don't have any skin problem, is the organic ozonated coconut oil. Coconut oil in general is very healthy for the skin, and their organic ozonated oil is just absolutely wonderful, very mild, shouldn't irritate your skin at all. Always keep that out of your eyes, of course. Any kind of the moisturizers made with actually any of the S oils, and you can add in vitamin E and vitamin A and D into whatever you want to make yourself. You can actually make some wonderful homemade skin moisturizers that will help you avoid, make sure everything is organic, of course, reactions to dry skin creams and cleansers like that. Did I leave out soap? Well, you can make various types of natural soap. For example, just get organic Castile soap. That's generally pretty plain. You it shouldn't cause any irritation. Most people are not allergic to it. Um, you can make facial scrubs, for example, for women from organic oils like sesame, jojoba, or almond oil, and you put it on with a soft loofah, or even if your skin is very sensitive, cotton gauze pads, and this will get off all the dead epithelial cells and give you a nice soft skin. So that's another thing you can do. You can make makeup remover for women, for example, from organic butter, or use sesame, or any of the other organic oils, which are very good for that. You can make room deodorizers. A lot of people have lots of different things. Room deodorizers you can make from organic lemon juice and vinegar, and you just sort of spritz that into the air. You can use lime, organic lime, and that'll give a wonderful, or even organic orange, and that'll give um, a beautiful scent in the air. Um, and it's a great room deodorizer. In the laundry, you can, I have a special thing called Laundry Pure. So while I have all the water in my house, and this can be a very big issue, some people have to get special water purifying systems. I just use a special type of a device called Laundry Pure, and there's a bunch of different ones out there. And that makes ozone in the water system that goes into my washing machine. Um, and this will cleanse and detoxify, take smells and stains out of my clothes without having to add any detergents whatsoever. It's pretty wonderful, and you can add some peroxide, a little more peroxide to that. Oxy-Fresh or OxyClean, I forget the name of that. I add some of that powder also to add on some of the cleansing thing, and this way I'm not polluting the environment. Everything is completely clean. Um, when you have dry, you want to put your clothes in the dryer. Don't dare use those dryer, what do they call it? Papers that are impregnated with all sorts of chemicals that sort of coat everything. It's pretty bad. All you need to use is those little rubber balls, those dryer balls they call it, um, that just flop around, and they puff up your laundry as it dries and makes it nice and soft. So this is the way you can get around using all these different things. Now, if you have to do dry cleaning, this may be difficult from where you live because they're not very plentiful, but I go to an organic dry cleaner company that just does everything purely organic. Interestingly enough, they're not more expensive than regular dry cleaning, which isn't cheap these days. Most of my clothes are washable, so I purposely look to buy things that I can just put in the washer and just sometimes have to iron a little or whatever. And that's a way to avoid all of that. Now, a lot of people have allergic reactions due to EMFs, electromagnetic uh, frequencies and whatnot are pretty bad. Um, they're pretty plentiful and bad. And I wear shungite, okay? I wear shungite. It's a nice size piece. It's about the size of the original silver dollars, and it's about almost a half-inch thick, and it's not too heavy. And this seems to neutralize the EMFs in such a way that I have a tremendous benefit from it. I used to have a horrible itch in my ears, and nothing would work to get rid of it that I tried. Um, of course, I won't put cortisone in my ears or steroids in my ears like the ear, nose, and throat doctors wanted me to use. And you need to neutralize it. I keep, just so you should see it, um, this is a huge chunk of shungite in a pyramid. It looks like about, 3.5 to almost 4 inches, square. It's a few inches high, about almost the same height at the point. And that I keep by my computer. I keep it by television in the house. I put a chunk of it under my router. And shungite comes from Shunga, Russia, and it's mined. It's a mineral. It can be used crumpled pieces in water purification. But shungite seems to work really well at eliminating the harmful effects of EMFs on me. Hopefully, all this information is giving you a good taste of how to overcome some of those common allergens. Um, Air purification is very important. I use very special or ozonating air purifiers. Now, if you have a really good one, when you turn the ozonator on, okay, they all have HEPA filters built in and special air purification systems. But when you turn the ozonator on, which can destroy just about anything in the air in the room, it should tell you to leave the house. And then you know you have a really good one. And usually can set the square footage that you want it to cover. Remember, it's heavier than air, so you want to set it up as high as you can in a room, at least on a countertop. If not, pile up some books and put it up higher. So this way it blasts into the room, and it tells you to leave the house, got to take the animals out of the house if you have pets like I do. And this can purify the air in a room. Now, many people have issues with their bedrooms, and many people have mold toxicity. Listen to my podcast on mold. If you have that, you can buy ozone generators from Promolife. I would get an Elite model or actually the Elite Plus. And then what you do is you can drill holes, small holes, into your ceiling, into your walls near the ceiling, just a couple of inches off the ceiling. And you drill a hole in between, all houses are made with drywall, and there's metal or wooden slats that separate each section. So you want to put it in the middle of a section. You drill a hole, you stick the tube in, and then you can run the machine for a few hours, and that of course get out of that room, shut the door to the room, and that can destroy mold behind the wall. And then all you need to do is a little patch and a little touch-up paint for that little hole, and you go to the next section. You run it for I would say if you have their Elite Plus, it has 2 ozone generators. Set it to the highest setting, and let it run for about an hour per section. And this can help eliminate the mold in your bedroom, which you're going to be sleeping with. Now, you may want to do the same for bathrooms. That's the next worst place you can have it. And because of the moisture in there, you can't get rid of mold. It's going to come back. You may have to do this periodically. If you don't have a problem leaving those little holes in the ceiling, just leave the holes in the ceiling. And not in the ceiling, but in the drywall by there. And this way, periodically, you can cleanse behind the wall and get rid of mold, because mold will build up again. Now, we've been talking about the external environment when we're talking about that. We really don't have much control over that. What we do have control over is us, okay? And there's where you can do things to cleanse, detoxify, and boost your immune system. I described in part 1 how the body is like a chamber, like a glass bottle holding, and then we pour water in, which is like the allergens, and that it doesn't cause us to react until we overflow. For some people, you're at the top all the time. Any allergen, any small amount could make you overflow. So here's where, now, right now in part 1 and part 2, I'm giving you all the things you can do yourself at home that will make a difference. Let's start with getting that Promolife machine and doing what's called rectal insufflation. Rectal insufflation is an ozone enema. It's pretty painless, easy to do. Takes about 10 minutes to perform one. You can do that each day. And that a small amount of ozone is going to get absorbed into your blood. It's going to cleanse and detoxify and boost your immune system. And by the detoxification, get rid of some of those allergens and keep the levels down. For some of you, that's all you may need. Others may actually need intravenous ozone therapy. And that's where you listen to my show called Intravenous Ozone, everything you need to know. And in that podcast, it goes over all the different methods and why we use the ones we use. When you're dealing with allergens, only the direct IV ozone, in my opinion, DIV ozone therapy, and the possibility of what's nicknamed 10-pass, hyperbaric high dose ozone, 10-pass therapy, may be the best ways to go. The other methods of ozone are not going to do the job. So stick to those two methods, and I think you should do okay. And yes, it does take some time, particularly if you're very toxic. You may have to go in and get uh, intravenous ozone therapy regularly, okay, for a period of time, several times a week, 3 or 4 times a week, particularly if you're extremely allergic to things. This will cleanse, detoxify, boost your immune system up so you can fight allergens easily and well. Some people like to do intravenous vitamin C. Very costly. We do it in the office, but the intravenous ozone is far more cost effective and far more beneficial than the IV vitamin C drips that you'll pay a fortune for just about everywhere. You're welcome to contact me at 212-581-0101. That's 212-581-0101. Or you can email me at ozone doctor, OZONEDOCTOR at yahoo.com, ozone doctor at yahoo.com. And hopefully I can recommend somebody near where you live. It's best to call the office. They'll put you on to me, and then we can decide what might be the best things for you. Okay. Please tell everybody about these podcasts and please subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. We're going to be doing more and more now that I'm no longer on Voice America. And our next segment, we're going to be going over all the supplements and herbs and everything you can do to boost the immune system when you're dealing with allergens. Okay? To boost the immune system when you're dealing with allergens and allergy reactions. So everybody stay healthy, stay well. Thanks for listening. And we'll be back with part 3 very shortly. Bye-bye now.